Hello, everyone. Oh, hello to you. Not everyone, just singularly to this person with us in their ears or their eyes. Thank you very much for coming back to Gotsom Season 2 as we explore wine beyond the $30 price bracket. And today, we are trying a wine that you probably read in the clickbait of, and it's not even clickbait, you probably read in the title of the description of this video or podcast, that we are trying, when we say small producer, we mean tiny producer, really, right?
Yeah.
And when we say this wine sells out in seconds, we saw the example of that. We bought these two bottles of wine. We're on their mailing list. We'll get to who it is in a second. They said, in an hour, we're dropping our release. I had the timer set. I bought the bottles. I went back an hour later going, oh, maybe I'll buy some more and we can sell them and try them next year on the next season. Gone. Sold out within an hour, and you probably didn't even know it existed.
And you also only you can only buy 2 bottles, I think, from as per the website.
There's a limit.
So yeah.
Okay, well maybe we'd have to put in Carlos Santos as the name just to
And
get
then
it through.
Emilia, our TV producer as
just
well, and then
Unfortunately, we didn't get that opportunity. Now, this bottle of wine, Carlos, I'm going to let you tell everyone how we heard about this, because we both heard about this wine at the same place and same time.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was the dinner that you came with your partner to Vieux du Monde, right? And on a chat with you, Alan, so executive chef from Vieux du Monde, that was traveling in Europe and went to the restaurant Noma, and that's where he actually tasted it, and he was very impressed because he likes this style of wine, much more funky, natural, etc. And that's what we heard from it, and then of course sparked the curiosity, right?
Yeah. So like Hugh Allen, like one of the best chefs in Australia, especially at such a young age, just a superstar, and great friends with him. We both follow him, and then for him to go on a visit, go to Noma, which, can you tell people, you work at Vieux du Monde, I would say arguably one of Australia's best restaurants, not even arguably, it's definitely up there, multiple hatted, but we're talking about Michelin stars when we talk about Noma, and also an institution. Can you tell people a little bit about the restaurant, because that gives more weight to the bottle being on their list?
Yeah, 100%. So Noma, it's Michelin star restaurant, and one of the most iconic restaurants in the world, just like El Bulli was at their time, and the Fatback, etc. Noma been for the longest in the top list of best restaurants in the world, and indeed best restaurant in the world for several years.
He actually worked in the restaurant.
There.
So he worked as a young chef in there for a couple of years. So he went back to the restaurant, and he posted this up on his Instagram story saying how cool to see an Australian wine on one of the world's best restaurants wine list. And I text Carlos and I said, oh, tell me about this wine.
Yeah.
And you were like, I've never heard of it.
I never heard of it. And it's funny because I was looking every year I buy the every year up until like 3 years ago or so, I bought every James Halliday list of wineries, see the 5-star list with there's anything upcoming and new and stuff. And actually, the last one I bought was 16, so that's a few years now. A few years back, but he wasn't up until 16. He wasn't. So
and probably isn't today, because
probably not. Yeah,
it's hard to get your hands on these bottles. We feel very lucky. We bought them. The Nickhow Farms, and hopefully I'm saying that right. Don't even know that we're doing this episode, but the fact that there's a tiny producer in Australia. Whereabouts are they in Australia as well?
Where are they?
Yeah.
In Gippsland.
Gippsland.
They're in Gippsland,
Victoria. Tiny producer, world-renowned Michelin chef, star chef, has it on their wine list. We didn't know about it. We had to try this for ourselves. And we have in front of us their 2018 Toulon Riesling, and the wine that Hugh had himself, which was the 2020 Nickhow, which they put their name to, Pinot Noir. Very exciting to try both of these wines. And you can already tell, Carlos, from the appearance, they're a bit funky.
Yeah, the red wine, you can see by swirling a little bit, you see a lot of fizziness, almost like a little gas.
Which so cloudy.
And which is very interesting, but also a darker purple color, very, very interesting, but very, very cloudy. Yeah. Wow. Look, it's not. I don't think it's a style of wine for everyone. I think he attracted a very, very specific type of drinker. I find them very interesting. I actually enjoy. Some are way too funky, I think, and probably less well made.
These guys must be obviously funky. You can tell by the color, and we haven't smelt it yet. But they say natural ferment, no addition or no SO2 added.
Yeah, well, look, SO2.
That's for the Pinot.
That's right. SO2 at no stage at all in the vineyard or winery and before bottling, etc., etc.
And the reasoning's the same as well, by the way.
Yeah. So it just means that everything SO2 in the wine is actually obviously from the bioproduct of fermentation.
Yeah.
So there is a natural SO2, but not having anything other at all just makes it so risky, you know, from one side because it's less stabilized, but also because it can get onto oxidation a lot faster. So I think it's super cool because obviously the winery from their descriptions has always been farmed organically. So from that
never had pesticides,
never pesticides, never herbicides
ever on their vines,
which is really cool. And the vines I think have been planted 30 years ago. I think one of their oldest blocks is 41 years old, which I believe is the Pinot Noir. I mean, obviously we haven't visited. I would love to visit one day and actually know exactly, you know, what we're talking about. But just from reading from their notes and stuff is super cool, super interesting. And again, tiny batch, 400 bottles, 350 bottles.
Yeah.
Maximum they've produced or max they can produce or eventually produce is 500 bottles. Wow. So that's for the whole
Very
world.
Cool.
And
they'll cost for people who are asking the price. It's nothing too outrageous. This was $150 for both of these bottles.
$150.
You know, I mean, yes, expensive, but when you hear the story about these wines, pretty cool. Before we do get onto the Riesling, because obviously we'll try that before the Pinot, no SO2. Does that mean that this means, and you know, more oxidization under cork?
Possibly, yeah.
They have the wax seal as well, but are you saying that this wouldn't age as well? Like you couldn't sell this as long?
No. So nothing. I mean, arguably, yes and no. I mean, you could argue that yes, you could argue that no. But the fact that they are, you know, organic from the very beginning vineyard, that adds an extra point to the grapes, to the resilience, because the vines have never had herbicides or pesticides. So naturally, they are already much stronger. They are already much more resilient, and that can add to longevity as well. You know, because the vines have never needed any protection, they're naturally resilient. So that's, you know, that on its own can help as well longevity of the wine. I think their natural acidity, natural body, alcohol, tannin, obviously all those, and sweetness, all those preservatives from wine. It remains to be seen, I guess, but that alone could help. Of course, SO2 before bottling will allow extra, you know, the time to. Will add longevity in the wines, but then again, if you open a wine, you know, from 1950s, 1940s, all the SO2 that were ever added is all gone a long time ago. So then it's just about having a good natural cork and, you know, proper storage of the wine bottle laying down on its side, and you know, low lights and fair, you know, just the right amount of humidity and all those things that we know that, you know, help storage the wine, obviously. Which brings me to another point, is that they do not use oak at all, which obviously allows for them to show off more terroir. So Dave, which is the founder with his wife Anna, he doesn't believe in oak at all, because obviously if someone is arguing that there is terroir, is a terroir-driven wine, then oak shouldn't be influencing. Obviously, it makes total sense.
So terroir.
Terroir.
Can you just explain what that is?
Yes. So terroir, it's a very strong word in the wine world, which means basically not only the terroir, the soil, but also the ambience, the atmosphere of the vineyard. So all the microclimate, the region, the soils, the winds, the geology, the geography, the whole group of things that influence the grape growing, basically. So that's terroir.
They do, we have to tell everyone, stick around as well, because we actually had another master sommelier. And remember, there's less than 270 of them in the world. Dorian, who's your business partner, also
good friend,
great friend and a legend. He came and tasted these wines as well. So stick around, because just after we try these wines, Dorian, a fellow master sommelier along Carlos.
Interesting reaction.
Yeah, very interesting reaction to these wines. But for now, let's try the Riesling, the 2018.
Cheers.
Talone from Nickel Farms.
And only Riesling for this one.
Yeah, just Riesling. Wow, that is whoa.
Good luck getting a bottle.
Sorry about that. But maybe get on their mailing list and like me, fight it out with everyone else.
I got on the mailing list. I have not heard from them yet, but very curious.
Very excited. Yeah, first of all, very cloudy. No sediment. I know.
Yeah.
It's wow, it's something I've really never smelled before. How do you? It's lemon rind.
Lemon rind, lemon curd,
cured
curds.
lemon, yeah, like a lemon marmalade.
I get
sort of
I get a
jam.
lot of marmalade, yes, marmalade, but also a lot of stone fruits, more peach, almost like a peach iced tea.
And the color of it is quite, even though it is cloudy, which is the first thing you notice, and no sort of sediment going around.
That's it. The wine's no fining, no filtration, so no racking. No racking meaning moving the wine, separating from sediments. So let's say if you have the wines in stainless steel, when you first put them in, obviously there's a settling, and that is the sediments sinking to the bottom of the wine, and then you would rack. It's moved to a new container and remove the sediment, but Dave does not do any of that. It basically just let the wine settle, and then is bottled straight from stainless steel and into bottle, and all bottled by hand as well. So every single thing they do is done by hand apparently as well. So
there's quite a sweetness to the nose of it though.
Yeah, I think it's that candy, that marmalade. For me, a lot of stone fruits, a lot of peach, peach, like really ripe, juicy peach.
A little bit of like warming apple, like
tree
yellow
fruit apple. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
For me, it's more stone fruit than almost lemon. It's lemon like cured and stuff like that. But for me, it's a lot of stone fruits, like candied peach.
What a
look how the cloudiness.
It's so cloudy. Super excited to get this on the palate if I can.
I can imagine. For me, imagining this, I feel like smelling this. I feel almost like a pickling. Like really acidic. Is it?
Wow.
By smelling this is what I can imagine.
I got, and I'm not exaggerating, I got tingles over my body, like I just had the most salt and vinegar chip of my entire life. My eyes are beginning to water.
Yeah?
Pickling.
That's what I said.
Yeah. It's so high acid.
Pickling. But then again, it's the no fining, no filtration, the no SO2. This is an effect of it. No SO2 is the wine just acquires these beautiful aromas. I actually really like it.
Wow, it's so interesting, and it does taste like a natural wine. That's the first thing that really. And I've been trying natural wine, and by trying I mean trying to give it a chance. There's a wine bar close to my house. They kind of focus on natural wine as part of their. I would say like they probably have a 70% natural wine selection. I had a lot of like orange wines. That seems to be something that's kind of, and I'm trying to get there. I'm appreciating the wine making process, but this is something insanely unique compared to what I'm trying. Like I had a pet nat yesterday, and this still is like a different world compared to, but I can't. Yeah, the pickling is such a great example. Yeah, but pickling of fruit. So there still is that. It's not like pickling of gherkins. Or
no, that's it. No, definitely not.
Or like even like pickled
it's in a
ginger.
good way.
It's not that.
Almost like kombucha.
Kombucha. It is like a kombucha.
Yeah, a little bit.
But like not taking away from the fact that it is wine. It does have that sort of.
It's what it is. It's what it is. I think there's all new. We would have to find all new descriptors and describers for
apple vinegar.
For the
apple vinegar
for wine like this. It's not conventional at all, but then again makes it very interesting. And as I said, I don't think it's a wine for everyone. I think there's a very specific market that would like this type of wine.
Apple wine cider is kind of where
from people that like the conventional wines and is very, very traditionalist. I think this one they will not appreciate this wine. But yeah, it's super interesting. I'll drink it with the right food. I'll definitely enjoy it. Nicely chilled.
It's good temperature.
Yeah, I think it's very.
I've had it out of the fridge for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too cold. Definitely, you can't drink anything too cold because you won't taste anything, or too hot by all means. Yeah. But I think this is a really nice temperature. It's nice and cold, but just
Well, that's interesting. Thank you very much to Nickel for creating such an interesting natural wine. Now we teased you with this
500 bottles. Well, pretty crazy.
Here is Dorian. Now I don't want to mispronounce his name. Julien Guyon. Who is a French master sommelier, a friend of both of ours, but he is your business partner and a really great friend. I'm not going to take away your friendship to say that I'm friends with him. Long-time friend. But he's from the Loire Valley in France. He's a not only just a master sommelier, but a great guy. And here's his reaction to trying this exact bottle.
Okay, on the nose, a lot of candied citrus, candied lemon, little bit of baked apple quality to it. It's very floral, a bit of dry yellow flower. It's a touch funky. It's really appley. It's aromatic, but I love that kind of candied lemon on it. Feels very fresh. Okay, I think there's a beautiful drive of acidity here. Very vibrant. That's really the main feature of the wine. There's some quite nice aromatic, a bit of dry lemon zest, candied lemon, and it's very appley. A lot of yellow apple, bit baked, a little bit of honey as well. It's a little bit funky, maybe for me, to be very honest with you. But I think if I focus on the structure, it's got a very beautiful, fresh acidity that really drives the wine, and that makes it probably quite food friendly. But I would have to think about the right dish to go with that wine. But well-made wine, a little bit outside of my own boundaries, but I think it's really good nonetheless.
Dorian's not a huge funky wine guy. He loves his SO2, that guy.
He's a traditionalist. I think he enjoys it for what it is. I think matched with food, he would also enjoy it. And he would probably serve the wines himself, again, if it's the right dish that will please people. To introduce something new, he would. But I don't think it's a wine that I would drink at home, that I would go on a bottle shop and buy a bottle to drink at home. It's not.
Yep. Thank you, Dorian. We'll have his reaction to the Pinot Noir, which we're about to get into right now. We've had this open in the glass to let it express itself for about 20 minutes. Once again, this is the 2020 Nicao. I hope I'm saying that right. Apologies, Dave. Pinot Noir. This is the bottle that's in Noma. It may be a different vintage, but, the same expression. And can I quickly ask, there is a photo that I saw on their website. They use clay pots.
Amphora clay pots, yeah.
What is that? What's that process?
So,
is that the equivalent of oak?
No, it's very different. So it really gives that sensation of drying tannins and cloudiness as well to the wine. So it really influences as well. Wine as an origin, or wine has originated probably from clay pots. Imagine 8,000 years ago, someone, going harvesting fruit, putting them on a clay pot and probably trying to hide it from the neighbors or something, and forgot about the fruit. When it came to the clay pot, is wine, and then it was quite delicious. Made them drink, made them laugh, made them happy, and let's do it again, right? So that's probably the origin of storing wine is in a clay pot. So that's bringing wine to the origins, basically.
For those who are watching this on YouTube, or maybe our socials, we're turning this into a video, I'm now bringing out my new iPhone, and I'm going to film, just in case the camera's not doing it justice, just some of the SO2 and the cloudiness that's being presented in this.
Well, SO2, no SO2 added,
SO2, sorry.
basically.
What are the bubbles then?
The bubbles are, it could be a little bit of dissolved carbon dioxide, either from a little bit of early peaking, or again, to be honest, I think that would be my best explanation. Probably there's a better one, but no fining, no filtration. I don't think it would influence that much, but I think it's just a little bit of carbon dioxide that is a little bit dissolving to the wine.
So I've cut that into the video so people can see what I was filming.
Not SO2.
Yeah, not SO2, of course, because I didn't add it. My apologies. Thanks for picking me up. What do you want to talk about this wine before we get this on the nose?
Well, it's just the color. If you put this against a white background, which we don't really have here, but it's very, very, it's very, very cloudy. You can not see through, so you cannot literally see the stem.
Yeah, for Pinot Noir, that's interesting.
That's it. Pinot Noir that is traditionally made or conventionally made, or even with minimum fining or filtration, you can see the bottom of the glass. You could, you would call it pale, but this is pretty deep. Like opaque. You cannot really see through. But then he has the color of Pinot Noir. Is just that you cannot see through.
Yeah.
So again, that leads us to no fining, no filtration, no racking, etc. Just straight from the stainless steel, which again, no oak, into unless Dave has added for this one, but it's not really clear on the website, so I don't think.
I don't think so either. I've had a quick smell. I'll let you have a smell.
Smelled yet.
I'm going to tell you something that I think I smell.
Okay.
And tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. It'd be much better.
Oof, jeez.
Yeah. I think I smell like the clay. I think I smell like this sort of dirty earthiness to this wine.
It smells like clay. It smells like earthy. It smells like wet earth, wet clay, like really, really earthy.
But you do smell
Wet,
like
wet earth. I'm not sure. If you go on a I don't want to say on a forest, but if you go on literally how do you say loam? No, yeah, maybe loam, like
a
water,
muddy paddock.
Muddy. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is.
But
Like
it's also not. It's interesting. It's not deterring. It's a characteristic of the wine, because when you say like muddy floor and forest floor, but some people might think, oh, why would I want to smell that? That's what makes this wine so interesting.
I think no having SO2, and again you would consider that that's one thing that would extend the wine a little bit, help the aging on a bottle. But I feel like I don't have experience enough with very, very aged natural wines, and I don't think many people has, because there's not that many. I mean, wines from, for example, the Loire Valley, where the onion comes from, Nicolas Joly and stuff, which minimum intervention, minimum SO2, minimum, biodynamic, etc. And the wines have huge longevity. They become really, really, really complex and very oxidative, very, very, very nutty. And then they are delicious. So, I think it would be very interesting to have this bottle of wine in 10 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, have a bottle for each 5 years or so, and see how it evolves. Because right now it's so compacted. I think there's so much of that clay, earthy, so much fruit. I mean, it's hard to go past that earthiness. Fruits, it's not like strawberry. It's not like, for me, it's red apple.
Oh, really?
Like really dried, oxidized red apple almost.
A little bit like small, super flavorful red fruits.
Do we have the cork? Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty good cork, actually. It's a nice one single piece. It's not agglomerated or anything. It seems like natural cork. I haven't tasted the wine yet, but I can imagine, and once we have a sip, it will be quite coarse tannins. It will be quite, I cannot imagine fine and silky tannins for this wine. I think they will be pretty grippy to the gums. But then again, it's Pinot Noir. Arguably, it would be soft tannin, silky. But I'm very, very interested to try. What do you think?
High acid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've never in my entire life had an aftertaste on a wine like I have right now.
Meaty. It's meaty, like charcuterie. The aftertaste really, for me, is really, really like that. And that's how I would describe it best. It's like that smokiness, cured meat, and then really, really earthy.
So it's unique.
It's very, very unique.
It's also very long on the palate. I'll give them that. It's 5, 6, 7 seconds after I've had that last sip. It's still as perceptible as it was when it first went in my mouth.
Well, it's pure. Literally, it's pure fermented grape juice, pure fermented Pinot Noir. No touching. Is as close as natural, and as Dave says, the closest natural as it can be. And I think you feel that. It's very, very interesting. I think it's incredibly funky, totally.
Very funky. High acid. The tannins aren't as perceptible as I thought they would be.
I agree. Actually, I thought it would be a little bit more tannic as well. They're pretty tannic, but it's not that grippy.
No. And it's not as, I don't know, like I love people who change lane with stuff. Like, nobody wants to be the same person. Like these guys are in a natural way redefining what they believe Pinot Noir is when it comes to, the no herbicides, no pesticides, no oak. They're creating their own lane of what wine can be. And I know they're not probably the first to do it, but for me they are. I expect Pinot to be this light, floral, easy to drink, low alcohol. I sort of have those benchmarks, and then this is basically just kick that straight through a glass window.
Yeah,
like it's nothing of those. I mean, the low alcohol, to be fair, I don't even know what the percentage is.
I think it's very low, 12.
Oh, it's 12%.
12, and the Riesling was 9.5, so that's incredibly low.
Yeah. I can drive home. let's check out how fellow
So-
master sommelier Dorian Joulon.
Guyon.
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 Sorry, Dorian, I love you. Let's see how he assessed this glass of wine.
On the nose, yeah, a bit funky. I think again, I don't think there's much SO2 used for the making of that wine. So on the nose, it's there's a underlying characteristic of Pinot, which I like. There's lovely kind of ripe red cherries, fresh strawberries, touch of cranberry notes as well. It's got a little bit of rose, touch of red licorice, slightly earthy and gamey. I like that side of the wine. They just a little bit of kind of funkiness that buffer me just a little bit. But let's see on the palate. Maybe the wine needs to open a bit. Yeah, very juicy, very light. Along those kind of red fruit character that I mentioned on the palate, I think there's a little bit of this red apple skin on the palate that drive me to those kind of natural wine where sometimes when they don't use enough SO2, there's kind of a fruit basket and they can become quite earthy and appley and almost like there's a cider kind of notes to it. But again, very fresh, vibrant, which is something, a feature of his wines that I appreciate, to be honest. Doesn't seem very warm in alcohol, so there's a great balance there. Very, very fine tannins, very light, quite juicy, fine grain tannins. Enjoyable wines, to be honest. Bit of this fruity, gamey, earthy notes. That I like. It seems to open. It seems to get actually as I swirl the glass, seems to get right a little bit of this kind of red apple notes, and there's more of this red fruit character. Yeah, just I would have loved maybe to see a little bit more substance, a bit more body on the wine. It's quite thin on the palate, but the wine, otherwise, sorry, I think it's a good wine. It's a good natural wine. I will put it in that category. That's got great drinkability, and I will understand the appeal of that wine.
And there you go. I think you could tell by his reaction, as kind as he is, and you are, not his particular style of wine. And I have to say, I agree. Give me that beautiful Burgundy floral Pinot Noir any day of the week. But I also love and appreciate someone who's not sticking to a norm, that is creating their own lane, that is creating a wine that is available in a Michelin star restaurant on the other side of the world, and it's natural. I think that's so cool.
Yep.
And I think this is a cool bottle of wine.
Yeah. And I think conventional wine sometimes can be always a little bit too similar and too classic sometimes. So not that I go on a bottle of wine and I buy a bottle of natural wine every day or every week or every month by that. But I enjoy this stuff. I enjoy this wine. So probably I'm the one I enjoyed the most, I guess.
Yeah.
For what they are, for how they show differently, and I would be thrilled to be looking for food pairings for these wines and make something really, really unique. And this is I think when you convert people to say, look, I don't like someone that will come in a restaurant and say, oh no, natural wine, I've tried so many, I don't like this stuff, and I hate these wines. But then again, if you have the right food at the right time and you try it at the same time with the wine, it may convert people and then say, oh my goodness, actually that was really, really good. And then that's when you introduce something new to someone that may have not liked it before and starts enjoying these wines. So I think it's all about that, and I like the challenge, so that's what I would do with these wines. I like to drink them, and then of course I would introduce it to people with the right food.
Yeah, I feel very lucky that we were able to get this. Obviously they sold out within like an hour. It's very tough to get wine. We will put a link below if you want to check out their website, get on their mailing list like Carlos has now added himself to. I was on it just before this came out. But this podcast is about exploring interesting wines. One of my favorite things is piquing the interest of Carlos, the master sommelier, when he goes, oh, cool. Like,
it's pretty cool.
If
I may, smell now number 2. It smells like nettle and
reason?
mint.
Oh my God, the mint.
Right,
Where's that come
nettles
from?
and mint.
Going back to the Riesling.
It's developed. It keeps developing. So like I don't think we made. I mean, even though we opened half an hour ago, they keeps evolving. So I think if we let this glass sit for the whole day, we'll keep evolving more and more and more and more.
Check
So
out
I
the
think it's
winery
very cool.
below in the show links. Thank you so much for watching. More episodes on the way. In fact, we're going to have another winemaker for the next 2 episodes of Gotsom. We hope you enjoy that. I actually think it's Philip Jones is the next episode. So the creator, ex-owner of Bass Phillip, speaking of Pinot Noir, is going to be joining us on the podcast to talk about not only his wine journey, which is ridiculous, his engineer brain and the level of research that went into planning those vines, but also he talks about the sale for one of the first times and very openly, honestly, and raw. So we hope you enjoy that episode coming out very soon. Subscribe wherever you're watching this or listening to this, and chuck us a rating as well. Until the next episode, salud.
Cheers. So.